It is the head coach of the Washington Capitals, Todd Reirden, driven by Sheehy Auto Stores and Sheehy.com. What's up, Coach?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Coach, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun with the Nats run.
We were paying pretty close attention to it, and it kind of corresponded with a Halloween party the other night, so I think the guys had some fun with it. So, yeah, it was awesome to watch, and we were, like I said, we were watching closely. Had the Nats guys out to the rink as well a few times, and what a great thing for the city, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been an amazing to see the synergy between the Caps and the Nats especially. Let's talk about your recent road trip. I mean, what a great swing through Western Canada for the Caps, grabbing 9 of a possible 10 points. You guys are 7-1-1 on the road this season.
Road Warriors.
Just the second team in NHL history to win 7 October. Wrap up that road trip for us through Canada.
Yeah, it was a challenge going into it. Certainly when we saw the schedule in the beginning of the year, we knew that this would be a tough one for us for sure. But, as I talked about with you guys before we even left, it's a great chance for us to learn a little bit more about each other, both on the ice and off the ice. And we were able to have a real successful trip. But it covered a few time zones. We had some flight issues. We had a lot going on in there, some adversity. We were down, obviously, by 4 goals in the Vancouver game and come back and win that one. So a lot of different ways to win and a lot of ways to grow as a group. And that's what it's about, is especially when you got new players, is connecting and gelling and creating some chemistry. And I think we did that in the month of October. I was happy with the results.
Coach, I'm stealing this from Vogues' column on WashingtonCapitals.com, and you referenced it. Said you worked around one of the most significant road travel delays in recent memory. I mean, if it really affected you to the point where you're mentioning it, it must have been tough on you and the team. Talk about how that went down.
Yeah, it's one of the things that happens actually quite often, that you never even talk about, or delays here and there, and just like when everyone else is traveling, but you have certain issues with your plane, or sometimes immigration problems or customs and different things like that. So we saw it all wrapped into one trip when we were trying to get out of Vancouver, and we were supposed to leave at 9 a.m. and we didn't leave until I think it was 7:15, something like that, p.m. So we were there, and luckily we were in the hotel, which was not that's not a terrible thing. We weren't sitting on the runway or anything like that. But the problem was the time changes, and then trying to get your body clock back to normal. Then we flew into Toronto. We ended up arriving, after 3 a.m. So by the time we got in and had to adjust things there, so that took a little creativity on the. In terms of our management of that between the coaches and our team services guy. So it was good, but we ended up figuring out a way to get our players as close to normal as possible, and that's part of some of the loopholes you have to go through with this travel. But it's all part of it.
So, Coach, I just did the math. You're about 17% of the season, regular season, is done, right? And I'm looking at the stats. John Carlson's we're nearly 20% of the season done. Is this sustainable? It's all offensive guys up there. He's a defenseman. How can you be up atop the point standings?
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. Impressive. Obviously, he's feeling it for sure, and he's been a huge reason why we are where we are right now in the standings. And it's been crazy to hear that the names that he's been compared with for that month, and especially to start the season off with some real great defensemen. And really happy for John. As you know, he spends the summers here, and he seems to get off to good starts for sure the last few years. And things really aligned for him. I think the added responsibility of being a leader on our team, now that he's officially an assistant captain on our team, has pushed him to a new level here. And it's been fun to watch, and like I said, and he's not just doing it offensively. He's done a really good job with, kind of taking over that D group back there with some young guys, and I'm really happy with his first month of play. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he also tied Alex Ovechkin's Washington record for most points in October. I mean, when you're tying Ovi for records here in D.C., that's a pretty good
And
thing.
then you look at points. I keep hearing how great Connor McDavid is. He's tied in points with Connor McDavid.
Right.
It's like I said, it's a major credit to John and how he's put work in. It's been a work in progress, the last years for him to this. It's just been incrementally getting better every year. And especially at least in the time that I've known him now, coming up on now going into our 6th year together. So it's been great to see, and a guy that's really bought into a plan and a vision and how he could make himself one of the elite. And he continues to rise to the challenge, whatever it is.
Joined by Todd Reirden, Washington Capitals head coach, driven by Sheehy Auto Stores and Sheehy.com. Ovi scored twice in the Leafs game, including the game winner in overtime. He's now at 669 goals for his career. He's going to crack the top 10 this season. He has a chance to get as high as number 7 if he can catch Mike Gartner at 708 career goals. He isn't slowing down, Coach. He's maintaining or possibly getting better as he gets older.
I mean, how does he do
it?
Todd, how's he do it?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's he's a freak in terms of of what he's able to accomplish. The size he does it. The body of that he how he plays the game. He is he is definitely superstar beyond belief in terms of what he's been able to do and sustain and scoring goals in the league, and especially in today's day and age where there's so much video and so much talking about how you can defend and shut down teams. There's more scheming than obviously there was many years ago, and some of the top goal scorers that he's being compared to now. So it's he's a special guy, and we're so fortunate to have him here in Washington. But the thing that surprised me the most about him is that his continual drive to find different ways to score, to create offense, trying to stay cutting edge, trying to add new tricks, to his game that areas to go to score goals that maybe he hasn't in the past. And, he's been able to continue to stay ahead of that curve and stay ahead of different teams that are setting up all kinds of different ways to stop him. And there he is again, with 11 goals. So proud of him, for the month he's had. Again, he trained properly this summer. And that's really the key for him, is that he puts the work in the summer. He comes in as lean as he has been, and he's really changed his training regimen. Really gone away from some of the power moves that he's gone to, and still tried to stay quick with first step, and at least with his release of his shot. So it's a credit to him and the work that he puts in.